Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So we got the little Furitek system in the Losi Micro B, and there's a new firmware update out for this, so we're going to need the little Bluetooth dongle that was supplied with the Grasshopper system for the Losi Micro B, and I'll bring you in for a close-up look, show you what we need to do on app, and show you how to update the firmware. So yeah, let's bring you in for a close-up look and see how we get on with this one. So for this one, we're going to need to get our little Bluetooth adapter, and it is keyed, so it will only go in one way. So if we line it up, it should just be able to pop it in. Then we're going to need to connect as power, and these little fiddly plugs do not make my life any easier having great big fingers. So once we've got it plugged in and turned on, we can now switch over to our app. So once we've got this on, we need to launch the Furitek app. That should now connect. Once we've got this connected, we've got firmware update at the top, so we can click on that. It'll look and show us the actual current firmware. So we've got firmware version 1.2 on the Micro Beast ESC. So we had one update that gave 5 to 10% improved maximum speed. We've now got firmware 1.6, and this one gives smoother power transfer. So we're on 1.2. 1.2 was a bug fix for the accelerator after braking. 1.4 fixed reverse problem and accelerator after braking. 1.5 added extra speed. 1.6 adds smoother power, so we can jump straight to 1.6. So if we just press update, you should see the light go out on your ESC, meaning that we're now searching for an update. To do this update procedure, I would definitely fully charge your battery that you're running the actual speed controller off, because you do not want your battery going flat part way through. There's a chance you're going to brick your ESC. Don't operate your phone, and don't go walking away from the Bluetooth antenna. So keep it at the side of the RC. Just covers all bases basically. Just make sure you're safe, and it's not gonna, your phone battery's not gonna go flat. Your RC main battery that's powering the ESC, you don't want that going flat on you. I don't like to skip these procedures, so if it does pause at any percentage on mine, you can see the same if you're following this video, doing exactly the same on your own. I don't like to cut these out. Yeah, it makes a bit of a long-winded, boring video, but you can see the actual real time that it takes to do the procedure. And I've had feedback from plenty of subscribers saying it makes it easier to follow the video if I leave it in real time and don't just cut these sequences out. So that says fully updated. So it's validating new firmware. Firmware update successful. So we can see on our ESC readout on the Furitek app, we can see what motor we've got, what units we're recording in, temperature protection set at 100. So that's all good. If we go into his telemetry, let's power up his transmitter and get that connected. So once we've got his transmitter on, if we're looking at his telemetry, not sure why this is going faster in reverse than forward, but we do have forward, brake, and then reverse. So we can run calibration. So if we want to do this from the actual app, if we come into the throttle menu, we can then click calibration. Do you want calibration to start? Yes. So set 0 speed, leave the throttle at 0. Set maximum speed, pull your throttle to 100%. Set maximum brake. Do you want to save calibration? Yes. That's all calibrated. It says successfully. So if we go back to telemetry. So we're getting around 650. And then if we drop it into reverse. So we're still getting extra speed in reverse than forward. I'm not really sure what that's about. Let's try. Let's try reversing throttle on transmitter. And then running calibration. See if that makes any difference to it at all. So we go into throttle. Go into calibration. Do you want to calibrate? Yes. So set 0 speed. Okay. Set max. Set max brake. Do you want to save? Yes. Really, this shouldn't make any difference to it. I'm not seeing. So we've got a max throttle limiter on, but it's not enabled. Neutral forward set to normal, so I'm not seeing any reason this should be faster in reverse than forward. We've got forward brake and reverse set, rotation counterclockwise, start up power medium. Not seeing anything else that should limit it. So if we go back to telemetry. So we're still definitely getting more speed in reverse than forward. Looking at throttle curve, I'm not seeing anything on here, but we'll reset it anyway. Going to advanced, we've got enable boost, enable turbo, so let's enable both them, see if that makes any difference to what it's doing. Nope. So for some reason this little Micro Beast is quicker in reverse than it is going forward. Not seeing anything in the data that would suggest why that is. So if we go into throttle curve, set it same for reverse as forward. So we're still getting throttle, only going to 99%. So let's go in here, endpoint, throttle forward. Let's change it up. So we're now getting slightly more RPM, but it's still definitely faster in reverse. Yeah, definitely a strange one this. It was the case before I did the firmware update. It definitely went faster in reverse than forward. So do we have any limiters? We've got a limiter set at 30,000 RPM, I think it is. But that's not enabled. So we can enable or disable it. Brake frequency, drive frequency is set to 24,000. So let's drop that down, see if that makes any difference. Nope. And you can definitely hear it in the sound at motor. So let's change it to forward and brake. See if that makes any difference to it. Nope. Still doesn't give it any extra sort of boost going forward. Change it back to forward brake and reverse. And it definitely is going in reverse. So if we turn the turbo off, we're getting around 680. If we go back in and we enable as turbo, back to telemetry, still same around 680. It's definitely noticeably faster in reverse than it is going forward. So yeah, definitely a strange one. There doesn't seem to be anything that I can change to make this any different at all. Turbo that would usually allow the motor to over rev just for your turbo duration doesn't seem to be making any difference. So although it does turn on and off, doesn't seem to make any difference to the ESC's performance at all. And I don't think there's anything that we're going to be able to change. So if we swap the motor rotation to counterclockwise, then go back to telemetry, so forward is now reverse. So it definitely spins faster that way round, and it's definitely slower in reverse. So let's try and run calibration. So it's asking for 0. When it's asking for full throttle, give it reverse. When it's asking for maximum brake, give it full throttle. Do you want to save? Yes. So it behaves back to front, but I just want to see if it'll make any difference. So reverse, going over 700, throttle, which makes the car go forward now, but yeah, it just seems a very, very strange way that this motor's set up. It's just faster in reverse than forward. If we go back to throttle and calibrate it correctly, so 0 speed, full throttle, full brake. Do you want to save? Yes. If we then go back to telemetry, so as throttle's now going to go backwards, get over 700,000, nearly 70,000 is it? And then we're getting 600 odd forward. So yeah, Furitek, you've got a bit of a weird issue with this motor. It's definitely quicker counterclockwise. For whatever reason, it's completely the wrong way round for this Micro B at the minute. And I don't seem to see any way of correcting this. None of the settings will make this any better. If we have the motor running as a clockwise direction, it will move the RC the wrong way faster. If we switch the direction over and we go back to telemetry to move the RC forward, still only getting around 680, but in reverse we're getting 750. So yeah, if anybody knows how we can fix this or how we can correct it, I'd be very interested to know. It just seems like this motor does not like running the correct direction for the Micro B. And I've tried this with multiple transmitters. I've tried it with Furitek's own transmitter. It still gets the same issue. It does show 100% throttle and 100% reverse. but for some reason it does not give you 100% throttle. Certainly going forward, it will, however, crazily give you 100% throttle in reverse, which is a bit weird. We do see on the actual line itself, so if I just go back to throttle and I run calibration again just to make absolutely certain. So set maximum speed, so 100% throttle, press OK. 100% brake, press OK. Do you want to save? Yes. So it's saved it. If we then go back to telemetry, so forward is moving the RC forward. It is going to 100%, which is only around 670, 680. Reverse, straight over 740, 750. And there doesn't seem to be anything I can do whatsoever in this app, or even we updating this new firmware to fix this. If we back the reverse down, which I would highly advise doing it. So let's back that down to 50%. And then we go back on telemetry. We're now getting around 680 forward and only 500 in reverse, which is fine. Don't get me wrong, it's ballistically fast, as you can see. It's definitely easily quick enough. So that's not a problem. It's just strange that the maximum RPM seems to affect reverse and not forward, no matter what settings I change. We've got all this throttle curve we can play around with. We've got all those advanced settings for turbo timing and everything. It's just weird. None of this seems to actually benefit the forward motion of the RC. It just wants to work better faster in reverse. But yeah, whether it's over revving in reverse, not entirely sure. Now I've set the limit to the reverse speed, that's absolutely fine. We can't go up anymore on max forward speed, and it does know that that's forward. We can change as brake and as drag brake, so that's absolutely fine. Startup power, we can change all that. But yeah, it just definitely, without the limits on it, it's faster in reverse than it is forward. But that's how we do a firmware update and play around with a few settings. Be interesting to hear from any of you guys. If you found the same, the motor will go better in reverse than it will forward. So let's wrap this one up. So there we have it. The Furitek Micro Beast upgraded to firmware 1.6. And yeah, the weirdness of around 680. They are multiplied the RPM by 100, I think it says, but if you just go off the numbers, you're getting 680 forward and 750 backwards, and it doesn't seem to make any difference no matter what you change with turbo settings, calibrate it back to front, change the endpoint on transmitter. It shows it's getting 100% throttle, but it's quicker in reverse than forward. And even if you change the motor from clockwise to counterclockwise, you still get the exact same behaviour. With this being a censored motor, it's not like you can swap the power pins to the motor round, because you'll end up damaging it or it just won't work. But yeah, really interesting. It's definitely fast enough anyway, as it is. But yeah, definitely be interested to hear from anybody else or Furitek if this is a known issue or if there is a fix to it. Because I've tried all settings, I've gone through quite a few on video there. Absolutely love the system, just curious as to why it's quicker going backwards than forwards. But Thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.